What's up guys, Kara Corey here and welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here then thank you for joining me. I'm not going to fart around, I'm going to jump right into it because you guys obviously clicked on this video for the reason because of the thumbnail, which is not clickbait. So we're going to just jump right into it and discuss my recent surgery that I did keep as a secret from you guys for a reason. I'll discuss that as well. But I recently, on November 22nd, went through rhinoplasty surgery. So I had a nose job essentially, and I had a few different things done to my nose. So one piece of it was a functional rhinoplasty, meaning that they were fixing the bone structure of my nose to assist with my breathing. And then the second part was cosmetic. Now I am going to show you guys some footage after I talk through some stuff. There's going to be some vlog footage that Jason took kind of documenting the before, right after surgery, and a little bit of recovery. So that footage is going to be in here as well. There's nothing really gross to see unless blood scares you, but just putting that out there that you guys can see that footage in a little bit. But I wanted to also talk through some stuff first. Firstly, I wanted to mention that I did choose to not share this surgery until after the fact. I had honestly even toyed with maybe not even drawing attention to it at all and just not making a deal of it, because I don't really think it's a deal and I didn't want to make a deal out of it. But at the same time, I've been on YouTube a long time. You guys, I have so many OG followers and I know how I feel about the people I enjoy following on YouTube, and I do appreciate transparency. And while maybe some of you wouldn't have noticed the cosmetic part, some of you probably would, and I just didn't want you guys to feel like I was hiding anything, and I don't necessarily feel like I needed to hide it either. So I wanted to share it with you guys, but I did wait until after the fact. I'm sitting here at like 2 weeks out now, about 16 days to be exact, to make this video. And I'm honestly really nervous, which is weird. I mean, I don't normally get nervous to make YouTube videos, and this one has made me anxious as shit because I just feel like, obviously, when you do anything cosmetic, you are putting yourself out there for scrutiny, which I'm used to. I've been on YouTube for a long enough time now that I'm used to the comments and things like that. But this one makes me a little bit more uncomfortable. But again, I just wanted to be open and honest with you guys. I did choose to share this now versus before, because I didn't really want to let anyone's comments kind of get to me or impact my decision. And for me personally, I think that's really important if you are planning on having any kind of plastic surgery or surgery to alter how you look. I think it's really important to think about why you're doing it and what the reason for that choice is. And I truly believe it comes down to what you want as a person, and really doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, right? So for me, when I thought about social media, it scared me a little bit to make this decision, but at the same time, I knew in my heart I can't make decisions based on what you guys want of me or expect of me. I have to do what I want. I have one life to live, so I have to do what makes Kara happy. So getting a little bit more into the details of it, I did go in to see Dr. Kim. He's an amazing triple board certified plastic surgeon in the area that I live in here in New York. And I actually didn't even go in to see him regarding my nose. However, he knew right away looking at me that I had issues breathing. And I just thought that was really kind of interesting that he knew right away from looking at me. And he asked me about it and asked to kind of look at my nose a bit more. Now, to give you a little bit of history here, I have had issues with breathing, with allergies, with sinus infections. My whole schnoz area has been a hot mess for a long time, since I was in my early 20s. I've been on allergy medicine. I was checked out for a deviated septum previously by my ENT doctor. At the time, I was praying I had a deviated septum, because if I did, I would have done something cosmetic then. CT scan did not find a deviated septum. And, I just kind of whatever, I went with it. Even though cosmetically I've never been happy with my nose, it wasn't something I was going to just go in and cosmetically change my nose for. Dr. Kim looked at my nose, like knew looking at it I had trouble breathing, and was kind of able to talk me through what he saw, which is called nasal valve collapse. And you guys can look that up online if you want. And that's something I guess an ENT doctor doesn't really kind of look for or assess for. But he was able to see that right away. He did a few things in my nose that like automatically he opened it up and I could breathe like a different person. It was crazy to me. And so I met with him a couple times prior to my surgery and did a whole medical clearance, whole medical evaluation to make sure I was appropriate for the procedure, that insurance would cover the procedure. And then at which time we did discuss, and he had mentioned if you did want to get anything cosmetic, usually now is the time because your insurance is covering the surgery. It's covering the bulk of the expense with the anesthesiologist and all that, which is truly a bulk of the expense. Now would be the time if you were interested in it. And I was like, yes, like this is something I have wanted for a long time. I don't believe this is something I've really shared on YouTube, although I feel like I share a lot of my insecurities. I don't try to point out, physical things that bother me, but we all have physical things that bother us, right? And so my nose has been something that's bothered me a really long time. All of my family knows that. They knew this is actually something I had wanted done for a very long time and just never pursued. So my nose is not something I was ever really happy with, but I kind of learned in this period of my life to kind of embrace my own beauty, embrace who I am, and not really worry about it so much. So it wasn't something I was ever going to just go pursue cosmetically, but the opportunity arose to do something about it. And so I was extremely excited because the timing of this was actually really perfect because for those of you that have followed me, I fractured my right shoulder in September, so I just got over the healing for my shoulder. So during this time, I was going through the evaluation and trying to get the surgery scheduled. So it kind of worked out great that I was able to get the surgery scheduled not long, basically I'm still in recovery for my shoulder, if you will. And for me, it just made sense. I'm I haven't really been able to train. I might as well have surgery. I'm going to be out for a couple weeks again and have to start from ground up. I might as well just do it now and hit 2020 hard in terms of, kind of regaining my strength and physical fitness. So the timing of that all worked out perfect. Now, I do want to mention too, in the footage, you're going to hear Dr. Kim talk about the trauma to my nose because I don't know exactly what happened to my nose growing up. I just know the way my nose looked was not how it looked for me as a teen. And I understand as you're maturing, things change. But I do recall an episode in a swimming pool where I did a backflip and I hit my nose at the bottom of the pool. Did I break it? I don't think so. I didn't go to the doctor or anything. There was no bleeding, but I just always recall from that moment on, I had tenderness in the hump on my nose that I had in that bump. And it just seemed as I was still getting older and developing, I don't know, the bone structure there got really jacked up. And maybe you guys couldn't really notice it. It was definitely very prominent, more from the side. And it was something that I was just personally very self-conscious of. Most photos you will see of me will be straight on. A lot of my camera shots are straight on. Anytime I would so much to go like this or turn this way, hated the photo, hated it, which I hated being that person, but it was something that just made me so self-conscious. So long story short, I was extremely eager to have the opportunity to also do the cosmetic piece of this as well. And I want to mention, if you're someone who's watching this video because you're looking into getting surgery, then it's really important to make sure you work with someone you trust. And Dr. Kim, I know several people who have worked with him as well. And he's just someone he's about maintaining your natural beauty and the physical features you already have. And I love that about him. He's not someone that will make you look ridiculous. He knows how, he's just a master of his craft. He knows how to kind of work with your features and really make it look good. So it wasn't we were going to just give me some tiny little bebop nose, but we discussed the things that were important to me, which was ultimately the bump on the bridge of my nose, and then we discussed the tip portion, which also kind of played into the collapsed nasal valve, and then fixing that area so that I could breathe better. For me, the main reason pursuing this surgery was the functional component of it to assist in my breathing. Some of the issues and symptoms that I had were number one, like mouth breathing at nighttime. It was funny when Dr. Kim asked that. I didn't even get to answer yes. Jason was like, yes. He like chimes in right away. The other thing is, interestingly, with my working out and being an athlete, I have struggled with breathing when I work out. And it's been something I've basically dealt with for a long time. I remember having to almost kind of quit running a couple races that I did outside, running outside, maybe a little bit allergy related, but I could not breathe out of my nose. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Anytime I ran, I couldn't breathe out of my nose. And I can pace myself. Like, I am a good pacer if you ask anyone I've ran with. I just wouldn't be able to breathe out of my nose, and I would almost start hyperventilating. My ENT thought I had exercise-induced asthma, and that's not really something you want to mess around with doing an inhaler and treatment for that if you don't truly have exercise-induced asthma. I really don't believe I have exercise-induced asthma. I guess we're going to find out now that I've had the surgery. But that was a big thing. My workouts have really taken a toll with my breathing. It really makes me feel like I'm out of shape. Like, even when I would be at the peak of training for a competition, or as I mentioned, I have a history of running several marathons, and I'm someone that has good cardiovascular endurance. And yet I was struggling to get through basic exercises. So number one for me was the functionality of this. And if there was a 10% chance that this would improve my breathing and possibly help assist with all the other crap with my nose that I've dealt with beyond the years, a possibility of waking up in the morning with more energy because I'm sleeping better at night, hands down worth it to me to have surgery. And I have never had surgery before, so I was a bit of a chicken, like, when it actually came down to it. But me agreeing to the surgery, I knew for me that this was the right move and that this is what I needed to do. The cosmetic piece was a bonus, and we discussed what I wanted. He did a morphed photo to kind of show me how it would hopefully look. You never know once you get in there, but I think he got pretty close. And so that was an added bonus to me. The whole reason behind this was the improvement of my breathing. And I do want to say, only being 16 days after the surgery, like, I can tell when I sniff, like, I can more easily get breath through my nose. However, like, I still have a lot of like crusty boogers, and like, it's still not right in there. It's still healing. And unfortunately, with a nose, the healing time is 1 whole year. And I've watched a lot of other people's vlogs now on rhinoplasty, and everyone's healing time is very, very different. So if you are someone who's in the healing time now, please don't compare yourself to me, because that was one thing that freaked me out. I still have bruising. I don't know that you'll be able to see it in this video. I am wearing makeup. I did just start wearing makeup again yesterday, but my nose is very tender still. I still have bruising right on the bridge, in particular where the actual hump was that was taken down. And he used like the cartilage to create like a bone graft there or something to transition it. It's very swollen still, and my entire nose is very swollen. So I was like surprised at first. I still had a little hump there, and there is still like a little bit there, but it's more so inflammation than it is bone, and that's just recovery. And so with a nose, from what he told me, like about a month to 2 months in, you may see about like 80% of the final result, but truly it's going to take that full year for the swelling to come down, for the tip, I guess, to kind of like normalize and the swelling to come down. So I just want to mention that. So if you guys like don't like what you see today, like I don't need to hear that, number one. But number two, like, the nose is just going to keep changing, and I'm super happy with how it looks. I even posted a picture on Instagram. I mean, I think it was kind of like, I don't think it was like super, like, it wasn't super close up to my face, but not one person even noticed. So that's good to me, because it was very important that I didn't like pull a Jennifer Grey from Dirty Dancing and look like a totally different person. I wanted to still look like me. I just wanted to look like a little bit of a better version of me. So in terms of really being able to assess my breathing, that's going to come with time. I think probably a couple more weeks, I'll be able to give you guys a better idea on that. In terms of the nose and the final results, we're going to be on an ongoing healing process. And I actually go back to see Dr. Kim right before Christmas. So he's going to take a look at things then. I know there's a lot to go over, and I'm trying to be thorough just because you guys might have questions. If you do have questions, feel free to ask them below in the comments. I don't mind going through and answering them. What I had was an open rhinoplasty. So there's open and closed. I had open, so what he did, he did an incision on that little nostril tip part, whatever you call that was sliced open. So I had sutures there, and I had sutures all in my nostril. Essentially, open rhinoplasty means what Jason likes to keep reminding me of, that they peeled my nose up. So I don't know, it doesn't gross me out, and it happened to me, but it was an open rhinoplasty, and Dr. Kim will speak about it in the footage, but he did work on 3 areas of my nose. He worked on reshaping the tip, because I basically had like an overgrown tip to my nose, which was making it difficult for me to breathe, which then made these 2 bones kind of collapse in, narrowing that pathway or airway, for me to breathe. So he worked on the tip, he worked on the functionality of those bones, and then the cosmetic piece. I mean, the tip was cosmetic too, but sorry, random hairs, dog mom life. And then he worked on the bump right there. So it was kind of 3 pieces that he worked on for my nose. The procedure itself, I think I was back there 2 hours, but I think it took about 90 minutes when all said and done. I was just so scared for anesthesia. I was like super scared about that, because I've never had it. And I just know, like, I don't know, I'm like the class clown type person, and I was really freaked out they were going to give me the loopy meds, and I was just going to start saying some stuff I'd regret. I don't know. I was really nervous about that, and I was nervous about waking up feeling like someone hit me in the face with a bat. I don't know. I think things have changed over the years. I had no pain when I woke up, and going into the surgery itself, I don't remember anything. They gave me Versed or whatever, so I don't even remember leaving like the pre-surgery room. So for me, the whole thing was really easy, you guys, and you'll kind of see that in the footage, but it was very, very easy. Jason helped take care of me a little bit, but quite honestly, like, I don't really need a lot of help. Like, I don't know. You do need to rest. You can't bend down. There's a lot of things I could tell you about the actual recovery I wouldn't have thought about. Like, make sure you have really good lip gloss. Make sure you have a hydrating lip gloss, because your lips your lips are so dry. And honestly, the worst part of the surgery for me was waking up, I think because of the breathing tube that they put down your throat, and being MPO, meaning you can't eat or drink anything before the surgery. I was so thirsty and my throat was so dry. That, and they put like Vaseline on my eyeballs, maybe to keep my eyes closed or something. And so I couldn't like really see well when I woke up. So my eyes looked extra drugged up. But I woke up feeling great. Like, I wasn't loopy. I felt fine. I really had a good recovery process, and I feel like the bruising wasn't bad. I do still have the significant amount of swelling, and I was getting a little panicked looking at other people's like post rhinoplasty videos that they didn't look like they had any swelling at all. But I had quite a bit of trauma from what he did to my nose. So it is going to take a bit to recover. So he said that's totally normal, and everything was healing beautifully. Yeah, the most discomforting thing is just the initial 2 days with like the blood dripping down your face, and just kind of having like, I've seen some people get rhinoplasty and they'll like tape like a big cotton pad across their face. We didn't do that. It was just, I'd wait for the blood to drip to my lip, and then I would wipe it with a 4x4 gauze. So you looked like crazy for a few days with the blood drips down your nose. But again, it was really pain-free. Right now, my nose still does, like I said, it's swollen still. I'm just trying not to touch it in general. It has like a little bit of pain, more so like around the bruising if I touch it there, but it's really not bad. It's just I'm still trying to sleep upright to help with the inflammation, so things are going to change based on how I sleep. If I'm working out, things can get inflamed very easily, especially the first 6 months. I think that covers mostly everything. I know some people may ask about cost. I don't mind sharing that with you, but I will say it's really probably going to be relative to a few things, the area that you live in. If you are having my insurance covered the functional piece of this surgery, so it therefore made the cosmetic piece cheaper. So for me, the cosmetic, I had to pay out of pocket $3,500. That was due up front prior to my surgery. But yeah, I think if you didn't have a functional need and you're just someone in need of a rhinoplasty, you're going to have to better research that, because I think that expense will be much higher than what I had. But yeah, the timing was just right for me, like I said, and I'm really happy with how things look now, and I'm really excited to see how things keep going. And for those of you that are watching this video who are my OGs, I'm really excited for 2020 to really kick ass in the fitness department, because I feel like 2019 was just an interesting year for me in terms of my fitness and the things that I went through between back pain, a shoulder fracture, and then my first surgery. So I am so freaking ready to hit the ground hard in 2020. With some fitness stuff that I'll definitely be sharing on this channel. So be sure to stick around for the vlog footage. That's going to be next. You'll get to see kind of my before, during, after. You'll get to see Dr. Kim, and he talks through what he does to my nose and why. And I hope you guys enjoy that and find it helpful. We're heading into my pre-op appointment. It's 1 week before surgery, and they did send me pre-op instructions, but I've never had surgery before, so I just still have a lot of questions and just want them to run through everything with me in detail that way. I mean, I feel good about it, but I just need, I need to know. Going to Dr. Kim in Suite 210.
Carrie, you have a what's called kind of somewhat of a tension nose.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see where the dorsal septum extends, and it's whereas your tip support mechanism is somewhat compromised. So when when you smile or when you talk, you can kind of see the tip of your nose kind of drooping down.
Right.
And when that happens, you can actually see where the septum kind of goes. Yep, there you go. So what I need to do is I need to bring that back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And also another thing is that your tip shape is very strong. It's it's a very convex, hard, curved cartilage.
Right.
So I am going to use both, shaving technique and some suturing mechanism, technique to refine it, bring it down a little bit, so it fits rest of your nose and the face.
Right.
And at the same time, the middle vault here, so the middle 1/3, so that area is what's flaccid. So that's the functional part of it.
Right.
So some of the cartilage that I will borrow from your septum during the septoplasty will be reutilized to strengthen the middle vault area.
That's so cool.
So the bottom 2/3 is a cartilage. So some parts that are overdeveloped and too strong, we're gonna soften it a little bit.
Right.
Add a support mechanism where we need to, and strengthen the side wall.
Right.
And then finally, the upper 1/3, that's the bony part right here.
Yes.
So we're gonna refine that, take down subtle hump, which may be from the trauma you had.
Right.
And then when I do that, it's gonna, even though the width here does not look that wide, it's gonna appear wider than before because a hump has gone down. So then I'm going to maintain the proportion, we'll need to medialize it a little bit, bring it down to add that slimness. So there's 3 parts of it, and in your case you have something going on in each of the 3 areas. So we're gonna bring it all down so it fits the rest of your face.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Any other questions?
That was information overload. I hope you got some of that, Jay. because that was like a lot to take in.
Yeah, I got it.
A lot to take in, but I know it's nothing that big of a deal. It seems like pretty easy aftercare. I feel okay this morning. I feel better than I thought I was gonna feel. Like I felt more relaxed about everything yesterday and slept really good, so that helps. I'm just really thirsty right now. Like, it's kind of like show day. Like, all I want to do is drink water right now. That's all I care about, and I can't. So, I feel ready to get it done with.
I'm Lori. I'll do your registration, okay? C-O-R-E-Y?
Yes.
K-A-R-A and then L.
Yes. I know I wasn't supposed to drink water today, so that was good.
Or is it your name?
It's my name. It's Kara Corey Fit Life.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check you out tonight.
You should.
I'll check you out tonight. That
Yeah.
would be really good.
I think this one, right?
Yeah, it's hard getting back in shape when you're in your 50s.
I-
So stay on it.
I know. I'm feeling it every year I get older. It changes.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I just slipped you a little something.
Okay.
I call it a cocktail. It's a drug called Versed. It's related to Valium. It has the nice effect of making you forget. So
Okay.
a lot of people think we knock you out here. We don't.
Okay.
Okay. I need my anesthesia machine and all that other
Right.
fun stuff. So I just gave you a little antibiotic chaser there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get ready to hit the road.
Okay.
Hugs and kisses if you want to do that sort of
Okay.
thing.
Love you.
Doing?
What was it? One. Jeez.
Did it feel like a second?
I fell asleep before they wheeled me out of that room. I was out before they even wheeled me out. I'm just so thirsty, my throat hurts. Now I've got to let the blood drip down my nose till it hits my lip. I'm not supposed to wipe till it hits my lip.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're not swollen, really. You're not really swollen.
Oh my god, that tastes so good. It just feels like a burning pain right now.
Where?
It's just burning. Is how it feels. Cheers. Things have gone really well, surprisingly. Like, I was really nervous I was going to be in a lot of pain Friday and Saturday, and I literally haven't felt any pain at all. It kind of blows my mind. I don't know, no pain whatsoever. The worst part was probably yesterday after I took the antibiotic and the prednisone. I had just had a lot of drainage coming out. It wasn't even blood at that point. It was more just like clear drainage coming out. So that was just more of like an annoying discomfort because like you could hear it in my voice too. It sounds like I'm sick. I'm not. It's just because of like the stuffiness in there right now. Is making it a little bit hard to like drink and eat and stuff. But that's really all that it's been is discomfort. And I have to like sleep upright at night. I did not sleep good Friday night, but I slept a lot better last night. So I feel really good today. So I'm just trying to stay on top of doctor's orders and stay relaxed. I have to just keep cleaning this area every 2 hours. I have to clean the incision, do a nasal saline spray up in there, and keep it lubricated with Aquaphor. And other than that, I'm just taking antibiotics and prednisone, and I have extra strength Tylenol. I've taken that a couple times, but I wasn't even in pain. It was more so just preventatively because I'm like, this is gonna have to hurt at some point, but it hasn't. So I've never taken pain meds before, so I haven't taken any of that. I was gonna try not to anyways, even if I was in pain, just because I don't know, I've seen some people don't have good reactions with that. So even in the recovery room, when they asked how I was feeling, any pain, did I need anything, and no, like the second I woke up I was not in any pain, and that was my worst fear, was waking up in pain. So I don't know if it's just me or if it was Dr. Kim because he does such a great job or what. A lot of things and people had freaked me out that this was like the worst surgery to have, and at least for me so far has been really good, honestly. So I'm happy with that for now. Today is day 5 of recovery, and I just got home, and as you can see, my cast came off today. Was not necessarily expecting that, but I knew it was a possibility. Went in, Dr. Kim wasn't there today, but I did see his nurse, and she was just overall super impressed with how things were healing, how everything looked, my lack of bruising. So she said it was totally fine to take the cast off today, start to see how things were looking with the nose. And she took out most of the stitches. I still have some in there though. She did say, like, because it's been compressed, like, my nose is likely gonna swell a little bit, like, today, and actually for a while it can swell like up and down, she said, and depending on like how I'm laying, like one side can swell more than the other side. So just basically in a nutshell, she told me not to panic. Things are going to change basically day by day right now, and that like the healing of the nose just is a very long process anyway. So this is not necessarily the final result right here, but I'm super happy with how it looks right now. I was very anxious, like wondering how it was gonna look, but I'm very happy with how it looks right now, which just means it's only gonna keep looking better. So I'm super excited. I feel better that the cast is off, but I do feel like a little, like I can actually feel my nose now that the cast is off, so I got some Motrin to take, but otherwise I feel really good, you guys, so I'm excited. And we'll just keep seeing how it looks day by day. And I just wanted to also mention to you guys before we exit the video, I will most likely do an update in the future. I'm thinking probably 6 months, because from what I've seen, usually by like the 6-month mark, people kind of have a good idea of what their nose is looking like. I feel like I'll also really be able to assess my breathing and how that's not only impacted my life in terms of my sleep and my exercise. So if you guys are interested in that kind of follow-up, be sure to hit the like button on this video. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate all your support. I understand that like not everyone does agree with cosmetic changes, but I also think we can all just agree to disagree sometimes, and you know, that's what makes the world go around. We're all different types of people. So I hope you guys are supportive. If not, that's cool. We'll see you later too. But feel free, if you have any questions whatsoever, to leave a comment below. And yeah, we'll be back with normal videos very shortly.